Hello, hello, hello. We are back. It's good evening of birthday 16. My name is Nana Iria, and we'll be talking about a very important subject spirit. You're welcome to Kanakom Enterprise, and we're going to have a very good discussion this afternoon. We're talking about spirit. Now, as you may know, Kanyacom Enterprise presents Good Evening on Bra 360 and on Bra 360, which focuses on balanced living. So we focus on five main elements. One, God. Two, excellent diet, rest, and exercise. Three, superb human relations. Four, superb finances. And five, excellent gainful occupation and recreation. Those are the five elements of balanced living. And today, come with me. We will be talking about spirit, spiritual wellness. This is a very important aspect of balanced living, which helps people to succeed in life spiritually, mentally, and physically. Spiritual wellness is very, 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 very important. Today, what will we be talking about? We're talking about a subject called People are important. People are important. Nkrofo hia. People are important. Le peuple est très important. People are important. Remember this. Everybody is important. Everybody is important. A person may have in their mind that this person is insignificant. This person does not matter because they look through my trash, or because they're not wearing good shoes, or because they don't look the way that I look. Big mistake. It is easy to dismiss people, especially if they need something from us like money, a job, or a favor. I repeat, it is easy to dismiss people, especially if they need something from us like money, a job, or a favor. We need to be very careful not to dismiss anybody. We need to be very careful not to dismiss anybody. We never know when we will need somebody. And importantly, we shouldn't be nice to people simply because we think we will need them one day. We should be nice to people from our hearts. Otherwise, God will not bless us. Matthew chapter 22, verses 37 to 40. Examples of when we may need the support of people we despise. Ministers and elections. Think about it. The elections are coming up, and the minister decides that he's going to go to the constituency that he has never been to because he needs their votes. When the election is over, the minister will never go back to that constituency. But guess what? That constituency can vote him or her out of power. So it's very important to remember that people matter. People are important. Again, think about it. You are in Accra. You're on your way home from Accra to Tema. Or you're on your way home from New Jersey to some other part of the United States. Or on your way home from some part of Beirut to another part of Beirut. The way that you talk to the Bolt driver when he calls you, the way that you talk to the Uber driver when he calls you, the way that you talk to the taxi driver when he calls you, will either determine whether he will come and pick you up or whether he will not come and pick you up. In Ghana, the taxi driver will ask you, where are you going? And if you don't have a favorable response, if you don't have a nice way of talking to him or her, and if it is midnight and you want to get home and he's the only one on the street, trust me, you will sleep by the roadside. So it's very important to treat people with love and respect. Let's just think about it. There's a story in the Bible called the story of the Good Samaritan, which is found in Luke chapter 10, verses 30 to 37. And this story talks about the fact that the Good Samaritan supported this person who was in dire need when other people who could have supported the person turned their backs on the person. So you never know who will support you. You never know who will pull you out of the ditch. You never know who will bless you. You never know the person who you despise, who you look down on when you're leaving the house in the morning and you're in a hurry and they come and stand by your car and they're asking you for money. You never know when you will need that person. So it's very, very important for us to remember that our relations with people play a big role in determining whether they will support us or not. You know, one time I was in Accra. I'm a Ghanaian. I live in Tema, and I'm a Fanti. My mother is a Yoruba. Then one time I was in Accra. I was in a place called Usu. I was going there to have some dinner. And I saw a very interesting sight. There was a man, a taxi driver, a Ghanaian taxi driver, a black taxi driver, and his car had broken down. I don't know whether it was fuel that was out of the car, that had run out of the car or what, but the car was not functioning. And he needed to push it to safety. Well, guess what? There were black people around, Ghanaian men around. They ignored the taxi driver. It was a white man, one white man who got behind the taxi and started pushing the taxi with the taxi driver. So it's very important for us to remember this. It's very important for us to remember this. You can vilify somebody, you can lampoon somebody, you can lambast somebody, but it is that same person who will save your life. There's also another example of the security man who knows all the movements of the boss. The security man who knows all the movements of the boss. So please, people, do not be puffed up. Be humble. Now, how do we stay kind and polite toward the people who we appear to be much stronger than? There are 3 tips. Number 1, speak less. Be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry. James chapter 1, verses 19 to 20. Also, you can practice something called the clock technique, where you wait 10 seconds before you respond to him, her, or them. Number 2, recognize that there's a reward for being polite and that it is a good name that is more important than riches. And a good name goes far. A good name also opens many doors for us, including financial riches. Finally, recognize that it brings about the blessing of Iriane Nyankopon, Allah, God, Jesus. Proverbs chapter 3, verses 3 and 4. My final words. Proverbs chapter 12, verse 14. From the fruit of his lips, a man is filled with good things as surely as the work of his hands rewards him. So we should really watch our behavior and our speech. If we don't desire for somebody to do it to us, we shouldn't do it to somebody, anybody, and it will not be done to us. It is equitable. So people are important. You are important. You deserve to be treated with respect. And if you want to be treated with respect, then treat the other person with respect. And I'm on your fair, on your equitable. Now, then what say? It's fair. It's equitable. So treat people with respect and you will be treated with respect. My name is Nana Iria. I'm the head of Kanyako Enterprise. And this has been Good Evening on Bra 360. We've been talking about spirit. Next week, we'll be here. Tuesday, we'll be here. And we'll be talking about excellent diet, rest, and exercise. I love you. I look forward to more communication with you. I look forward to more good times. I pray the Lord's continued protection, guidance, and blessing over you. And we shall meet soon. Stay tuned to this channel. Pass on the information to others. We live our best lives always. Bye bye.